Welcome back, everybody. It is a Monday, and we thought we'd change things up a little bit, do some different things, and take things to a whole nother level. And I'm really excited. So great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
You bet. You probably recognize this lady because she's been doing recipes on my show forever, but we normally visit her at her place up in Door County, beautiful Door County, and at your wonderful lodge. Tell us about it. How long you and your hubby been doing it?
Well, we'll be starting our 18th year at the Village Green Lodge this year, and so we've been making delicious breakfasts and just treating people the way we want to be treated, and that's what it's all about. So we're still having a quiet time for the month of March, and then beginning April, it goes nonstop until the end of October. So.
But this is probably a nice time to head up there because it's probably very peaceful and quiet.
It's very quiet up there. Yep, we thought we'd take advantage this year and get our projects completed, and just to have a little more quiet time as we're getting a little older.
You look fantastic. And Sue, one of the things I love about the Village Green Lodge is that it's quaint, but it's not a B&B. Everybody, you get your own rooms and your own bathroom, and some of them have whirlpool suites and fireplaces and all that kind of good stuff. But the neat thing is there's a community room in the morning where people gather for breakfast, and sometimes you'll meet people. You can sit at your own table if you want, but I love to join other people, and
that's what our guests like. They like having the time to get to know people, and so many times it ends up that they're finding they have something in common with this person from somewhere across the country. So
it's crazy.
Really, it's exciting. Yeah. It really is. We've had some neat stories. We should have started writing a book 18 years ago.
I'm sure. Sue does have a cookbook out, and we'll tell you more about that. And every morning she treats the guests to a special different breakfast, and it's different all the time, lots of different dishes, and sometimes in the afternoon she'll have different treats out for the guests. But today we're going to do a fun, different, kicked-up side dish, which I was talking about that earlier. Boy, can side dishes get boring? It's like, how many mashed potatoes can, not that I don't love mashed potatoes, but you got to switch it up sometimes, you know?
And this is a little different. It's risotto, and I don't think people really know what is risotto. And it's called arborio rice. It's a little different, but it's something that it's creamy, it's like a rice, it's like a pasta, and it's delicious. So we're going to put together a little side dish. It's healthy. It has chicken broth, it has zucchini, it has spinach and onions, and some Parmesan cheese. So it's just something that really will taste good, especially with that pecan chicken.
Oh, yeah, it'll be perfect with that, and I love risotto. Okay. So what are we going to start with?
First thing we're going to do is turn the stove on. We're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Okay.
And then about 2 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
Just let those cook up there.
Okay.
We're going to cut up an onion here.
Okay.
Just chop up an onion.
And I'm going to get to work.
Small onion.
We've got some spinach that I'm going to do in the food processor. About how much, Sue?
The spinach will do the whole package, because actually that's a 5-ounce package of baby spinach, and what it actually does is come out to be about 2 cups when it's chopped up. And that's
kind of turns into nothing, especially after you cook it.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's the very last thing we put into the recipe, so it's going to be just so it stays nice and green and looks fresh and delicious.
Okay. So just want it kind of finely chopped up?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So I need a spoon here.
You betcha. How's that work?
That'll work. Just stir this up here.
And let me get
that butter cooking. What we'll do initially is we're going to put the onion in here and let that cook. Okay. And you can use any kind of onion, whether you want to use green onions, we happen to have a little red onion today, sweet onions, just whatever you have is going to work. It's just the flavor of the onion gives it a delicious flavor in there. Okay, so I'll let that cook for a couple seconds.
Now, if you don't have a food processor, you can chop this by hand too, but we're going to make it easy and just, I know you're all about shortcuts, especially when you're cooking for all those people.
Exactly.
How many rooms at the inn?
We have 18 rooms, and last year we just added a 2-bedroom suite.
Ooh.
So for people coming with 2 couples or 4 ladies, it just gives a nice little spot where they have a full kitchen, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a full living room. So it's really quite nice. Now, the one thing about the Village Green is we are adults only, so we cater to people looking for a getaway without the kids.
Sure.
But that's kind of our niche.
Yeah,
so.
and there's plenty of other resort, hotels for that.
The majority of resorts accommodate families beautifully, and we have a lot of them that we refer people to. So, okay, we're letting these onions just cook a little bit in here until about 5 minutes, just to let them cook.
Okay.
And then we're going to add the arborio rice. And this is going to take about 5 minutes, because what we want to do is let this brown a little bit. And if you ever made rice-a-roni, you know how you cook rice-a-roni and you let that brown? That's basically what we're going to be doing with this.
Gives it some flavor, basically.
Yeah, so that takes a few minutes
I can keep an eye on that while you don't get to work on the zucchini.
All right, okay. So what we're going to also do here is we're going to take a zucchini.
Okay.
One zucchini is all we need, and all washed, and I just leave it. I don't peel it.
Okay.
Yeah. And what I'm going to do is kind of quarter it and then dice it. So I like to cut things a little smaller, so that way you don't have just such a big overpowering bite of something in there. So this way, it's just a little bit. And the colors in this dish are so pretty.
Very spring.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, aren't we ready for spring?
Yes, I think we all are. And zucchini is one of those things you can pretty much get it all year round.
Yeah, that's it. It's really versatile.
But I love it.
I mean, you could even kick it up a notch and put in some yellow squash.
Sure.
I mean, pretty much any
Sure.
vegetable you want to put in there. There's broccoli slaw now that's really good, and that's something else that you can do a lot with. So whatever vegetables you would like to have in here, these just happen to be the ones we have.
You bet. So at home, we're going to pretend this cooked for about 5 minutes,
Yep.
but it really didn't.
It really hasn't quite yet.
But at home, just so we're going to toast the rice a little bit. So
And then what we're going to do is we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of chicken broth.
Okay.
And stir that in, and what we're going to do is just keep stirring that until it absorbs.
Okay.
And we're going to do that a few times until we get about 2 cups worth of the chicken broth in there. So as that's absorbing, then it gets creamier.
it's a little labor of love, but it is worth it. And this is something, again, that you find on restaurant menus, but people are intimidated to do it at home. It's a little stirring, it takes a little time, but it's worth it.
It is.
So we're going to keep working on this. At a certain point, our zucchini and our spinach is going to go in.
Right. And we're
Toward
just
the end more?
Well, it is. It's more towards the last 10-15 minutes because we want to get this nice and creamy, and that the rice is tender, to the taste, because otherwise it's still kind of crunchy.
Okay.
So,
Well, we'll just keep letting this hang out. We'll keep adding our chicken stock, and we're going to add our rest of the ingredients and show you how it all turns out in just a little bit. Sue's going to stick around. We're making something with Jell-O. What are we making?
this is a recipe. It actually is from a church cookbook back when my mom, was young, and they called it Paradise Tort, Jell-O Tort. And it's just a refreshing, delicious, easy dessert to put together, and it's fun. So it's got bananas and pineapple, and just delicious.
Sounds really good. So we'll finish up the risotto and make that Jell-O tort coming up. So stay with us.